This is Dabu 7. We have this Black Start exercise that is about to go into effect on the 26th at around 4 a.m. local time at Camp Riley. This is located pretty much smack dab center in the middle of the country. And they've put out multiple videos on this from different garrison commanders, even the director there at Fort Riley, all making statements about this event, how people should be prepared. They're warning that traffic lights are going to be out, that this could disrupt communications, and that there could be a series of events that happen during this exercise. They expect it to last a minimum of 8 hours. They say that emergency services will not be affected. But on top of that, we have rolling blackouts being planned, and we're getting word now that in places like Pennsylvania, we have information being sent out to people inside of workplaces that are saying that, look, you need to shut off certain appliances, your air conditioner, TV, computer, all kinds of different stuff, or else your power bill is going to go up, and you need to do so when we say so. And they send out these emails and letters to people kind of warning them that this is what's about to happen here within the next 24 hours. So this is all going into motion. As much as we talk about the grid going down, lights out, and all that, well, this goes right along with it, hand in hand. Sometimes they have these exercises and events locked in hand with things to go live. But for what it's worth, this is the next one on the doorstep. I'm going to cover this in greater detail on the live stream. Make sure to join me, 9 p.m. This is Dabu 7. It seems here today we have a massive telecommunication outage that is affecting local landlines, also cellular service. As you can see right here, this is one alert that has been sent out talking about inbound and outbound calling issues with cellular carriers. They're saying that there is a nationwide intermittent cellular outage per Verizon, AT&T, Boost, Straight Talk, and others. Now, there's also information coming in here from outside of Philadelphia that this is Spike Bad. Also reports out of Ohio. Shoutouts to James that sent me this. They're saying that their dispatch centers in Cleveland do not have phone service. So this is affecting landlines as well. It seems widespread, intermittent, and across many carriers. They also state that Perrysburg, Ohio police are stating that the outage is affecting the landlines in that area, although 911 seems to be the only thing working in the area. So all the landlines in the city offices are down, and a ton of these areas. This is a big time heads up alert. Let folks know out there something's going on with all this. If you go over to Down Detector, this is just the Verizon map. You can see multiple areas being hit right now. But this is large scale, widespread. Not sure exactly what's going on, but I'll update via Twitter as I get that information. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more.
Shalom, Shalom Israel. This is Brother Yawana coming back at y'all with Lord's will, another edifying lesson. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, honor, and the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone, our teachers. Shalom to you brothers pushing and teaching this truth across the four winds of this earth. And as always, peace, blessings, and many salutations be to you sincere Akyam wa Akwath who are given all diligence in these last days. Right, so the mercy and grace of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through his only beloved begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, coming back with another walk and talk lesson. And this is just going to be real quick, man, straight to the point. I got to go into the plantation here real soon. But I wanted to, do a little update and prophecy, man. Lord willing, there's a lot going on right now as of the past few days. So, Lord willing, I'm going to try to pump out some news videos, some updating prophecy videos today, Lord willing. But I did want to touch on this because, it's very interesting how, they had that whole Black Start, exercise over there what they say it was, Fort Riley. And basically, they're trying to, prepare for, the event of like a blackout. And we understand the past, really the past few years, but more so the past couple of months, there's been more talks of the power grid shutting down, right? Blackouts. And we understand, as I like to mention a lot, Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum mentioned how, there's going to be a major cyber attack or a cyber attack crisis that is going to ultimately happen, which is going to affect the power grid, which is going to affect communications, which is going to affect businesses, going to affect the way we live our lives. Okay, and when you go into prophecy, you find that, hey, the Lord said that he was going to plague Egypt, right, as before, right? Meaning, when you go into Revelation, the 11th chapter, you find out that Babylon the Great, which is America, is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, right? So when the Lord says he's going to plague Egypt as before, meaning he's going to plague America, whereas he plagued, Egypt, the ancient Egypt, because America is the modern day Egypt, right? Because we as Israelites are still in captivity, right, under the modern day Egyptians, which is the so-called white man, which is the Edomites, right? The devil according to the Bible, okay? But nevertheless, we understand that a darkness is going to soon come to the whole land of America, man. And, we're getting ready. All these people out here scoffing, playing games, celebrating these holidays. I think you got Cinco de Mayo coming up here soon. You're going to have, Jake, celebrating that, man. Meanwhile, these devils are running exercises, planning for the event of a blackout and a power grid shutdown, So, hey, these people aren't preparing, but Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai has us preparing through the Spirit. So this is why, the Lord, told us to watch and pray, because the more things that we see happen, it lets us know that we're getting closer to the, to these last days. We're in the last days now, but we're getting closer to the, the last seconds of the last days. We're coming close to the time known as Jacob's trouble in the Bible, man, which is a time of great tribulation that has never before been seen on the planet Earth. That's the time we're coming into, okay? And the Lord, again, hey, when he says he's going to plague Egypt as before, what was one of the plagues that the Lord brought upon Egypt, man? Well, let's find out real quick before we bring out these precepts. All right, bear with me. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10. And verse 21, and as you see, it says darkness over the land. And on the NLT header, it says a plague of darkness. And that's exactly what's coming. That's going to be, I believe that was one of the last plagues, that ultimately took place. If I'm not mistaken, let's actually do a quick fact check on that. All right. There we go. The plagues of Egypt in order, it says the 10 plagues of Egypt in order are water turning to blood, frogs, lice, flies, livestock, pestilence, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and the killing of the firstborn children. Now we understand that when you go into the story of Esau and Jacob, which I remember brother put me on spiritual game concerning this point, which was a beautiful comparison, a beautiful connection that was made through the Spirit. How, when you go into the story of Esau and Jacob, right, which is a very important story in the Bible, and you have to understand that story in order to understand the rest of the scriptures, man, because that story is referenced a lot, especially in the New Testament. But nevertheless, that story, you had Esau and Jacob, which were the sons of Isaac, okay, and I believe it was Rebekah who bare them. The Lord told Rebekah that there was 2 sons in thy womb, okay, and the first came out, right, the first son came out, and it was Esau. And then the second came out, which was Jacob, and Jacob was holding on to Esau's heel. But the point is, Esau was the firstborn. Esau was the elder. So the Lord is going to send darkness, all right, but then he's also going to kill the firstborn, which is Esau, right? He's going to take him out of his power, okay, because he has rulership over the earth right now. Okay, so I did want to make that quick point, but you see, as you see, darkness was one of the second to last plagues. And again, the firstborn, obviously in the time of Egypt, were killed. But spiritually looking at it, when Yahweh Shai comes back, he's going to destroy the firstborn, right, which is Esau, right? And obviously he's going to save the elites, because all the elites that are going to be in those underground bunkers are going to be preserved to be the first fruits of the captivity, right, which is to come in the kingdom of heaven, right? Lord willing, we're going to be the first fruits of salvation and heirs to the throne under our Lord Yahweh Shai and our King David, okay? You see, but hey, one of the second to last plagues was darkness, and that's what's coming. keep getting all these random ass calls, man. This is Exodus chapter 10 and verse 21. It says, And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. Okay, so the Lord had, through Moses, sent darkness upon the whole land of Egypt, which in the time of that darkness, what they say, darkness which even may be felt. And you got to understand that there wasn't just darkness and everybody was just standing there like nothing was happening. Okay, everybody's, oh, it's dark, so what? There was different things that took place also that night that you have to read, like the scriptures say, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Or even King David said, through thy precepts I get understanding. So when you go into Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, you get a more detailed description of what also took place that night, that the Lord brought darkness upon the land. Again, darkness which may be felt, right? So dark that you can put your hand up in front of your face and not be able to see it. That's how dark it's going to be, right? This is Wisdom of Solomon. Let me see if I can go to the point. Matter of fact, I'll just start right here. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 and 3, it says, For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. Okay, and those apparitions are going into demons. Okay, you've been seeing a lot more demons recently, man, being caught on camera, because here real soon these demons are going to start popping out like they did on Bird Box. And everybody's going to see them, man. These demons are going to be so damn scary looking. People are going to literally pass out, which I believe is going to go into say. As a matter of fact, I want to see if I can get this on the GNT. All right, bear with me. I like the way it's worded on here. Yeah, verse 3, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 and verse 3 in the GNT, the Good News Translation. They thought that their sins had been secret and unnoticed, shielded from a view by a dark curtain of forgetfulness, but now they were horribly afraid, confused, and terrified by ghostly forms, which again goes into those demons, those evil spirits that the Lord's getting ready to release. When you go into Sirach, the 39th chapter, it talks about how there be spirits which are created for vengeance, which in their time lay on sore strokes, or roughly paraphrasing, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay? Like the Lord's about to get ready to send out a lot of evil angels in these days to come, especially when that darkness hits. It says, not even the dark corners where they lay could protect them from fear. Man, it's crazy how quiet it is before these lessons get started, but, hey, I love hearing the birds, man, but, it is what it is, It says, not even the dark corners where they lay could protect them from fear. They were surrounded by horrible noises. Grim ghosts with gloomy faces appeared before their eyes. It says, no fire had power to give them light, and the brilliant stars could do nothing to relieve that deathly darkness. So even you could ultimately kindle a fire. I mean, you could light a match, or in this time you could flick up a blick, flick on the lighter, and it's still not going to be enough light to be able to show you where you're at, right? To be able to see around you. That's how dark it's going to be. Okay, it says not even the stars neither. It says there was only a dreadful fire lit by no human hand that shone on them, and in their terror they believed that the real world was even worse than the things they had imagined. The illusions produced by their magic tricks were put to shame, and all the wisdom they had boasted of came to nothing. They had claimed that they could drive away all the fears and illnesses of sick minds, but now they themselves were sick with silly, groundless fears. It says, even though nothing dangerous had actually happened, they were terrified by hissing snakes and animals advancing on them. And so they died, shaking with fear, afraid even to open their eyes, yet unable to keep them shut. You see that? So when that darkness takes place and it's going to be so thick you can't see around you, even if you light up a fire, right, or a light, right, there's going to be certain animals that are going to make noises, and you don't even know what that sound is, but your imagination is driving you to fear because you can only imagine the worst. And you see that on I believe it's called Fear Factor, where they put people in a completely dark room where they can't see anything, and they have cameras, pretty much observing the people while they're in that room, and they put them in pits of like snakes, or they put them in pits of cotton balls, and people get more afraid of the cotton balls than they do the snakes and spiders because they don't know what it is. They can only imagine, but their imagination, isn't accurate, but what they're imagining is allowing them to fear even more. It says, wickedness is cowardly in itself and stands self-condemned. Someone with a guilty conscience will always imagine things to be worse than they really are. Let me see. Here we go. It says, all night long those people slept the same restless sleep, even though the night held no power over them, since it came from the powerless depths of the world of the dead. Let me see. Verse 15. They were chased by hideous forms and lay paralyzed as they surrendered themselves to the sudden, unexpected fear that came over them. Yet people are going to be so damn scared, they're going to be paralyzed, man. Okay, they're going to be literally paralyzed. It says people would suddenly collapse and lie locked in the chains of their own fear. Pharmacy, and the Lord said that He was going to bring your fears upon you. That's exactly what the Lord is going to do. Okay, the Lord's getting ready to bring everybody's fears upon Him who didn't take heed to this truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness, man. It says, let me see. Farmers, shepherds, and laborers out in the countryside were captured by the same inevitable fate and bound in the darkness by the same invisible chain. They were panic-stricken by the sighing of the wind, or by the singing of birds in the trees, or by the roar of rushing water, or by the rumble of falling rock, or by the sound of unseen creatures running about, or by the savage roaring of wild animals, or by the echoes from the mountains. Okay? That's how bad it's going to be. Why people are going to hear random noises of birds and animals, and they're not going to be able to see them, but their imagination, because they can't see, is going to drive them to believe that it's something worse than it actually is. And then again, you even had the monstrous apparitions, which it says in the King James, which I guess I should have read it in there, but it says the same thing pretty much. I just wanted to get those points because I like the way it's worded in the Good News translation. People are going to be seeing monstrous apparitions, man. Okay, you got a damn 9-10 foot tall beast-looking creature that's staring right at you and coming right towards you. Like there's a movie or a TV show, I think it's on Netflix, but you have like these big black monsters that go throughout these portals, and they're like death angels. You could have something that looks like that. We don't know. You see, all we know is that the time to come is going to be very bad, man. At a time that's never before been seen on the planet Earth. And that's why through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're getting ready, because we understand that these days are coming where the Lord is getting ready to bring forth a lot of judgment, and we don't want to be caught in the crosshairs. We hope that the Lord, moves us out of the way, okay, and it keeps a hedge around us and protects us from what's coming. Okay, so again, I got all these random ass phone calls, so forgive me. Right, but we're gonna end it off here in the book of Matthew. Right? You see, because again, doing these little black star exercises, pretty much preparing, for an emergency lockdown, or preparing for if a lockdown ever took place. Okay, a power grid. Salakia, my words are getting crossed. They're preparing for if the power grid were to shut down. Okay, and that's exactly what's going to happen here soon, because we read how the Lord, plagued Egypt with darkness, and how the Lord said that He was going to plague Egypt as before. And one of the last plagues that the Lord sent was darkness, which just goes to show, how close we are to the end. Right? Because the Lord's getting ready to send that darkness, and then Yahushua is going to come back and then take out Esau. So this is what we're coming into. Right? And I have another lesson I want to do later too, Lord willing, concerning the Charagma, because we're very close to that taking place. Right? So we understand, we're at the end, man. These devils preparing, they're ultimately preparing for how to move in the event of a power grid shutdown. Yeah, and it's crazy because the same day or the day after, you had different phone companies having shortages and outages, okay, within their services. So it's no coincidence, man, right? All these things are getting ready to happen, and hey, all we can do is hope and pray that Yahweh Shem Yahushua will continue to be with us, man, just as He has been. And really, we have to believe that. Right? We have to believe that the Lord is with us, because He is, man. Lord willing, it stays that way. This is Matthew chapter 24. And verse 42, it says, "Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known and would watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man comes." And we understand Yahushua is close, because all these different prophecies around the earth are being fulfilled, and at a very rapid rate now. As we get closer, more things are going to happen back to back, back to back, back to back. Okay? You see, so we know we're in very, scary times, touching as the Lord is going to bring great judgment upon the people. And again, Lord willing, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai will have mercy on us, seeing as we've been serving him in a time where everybody had a chance to get right and didn't take it and get right with the Lord. We actually took advantage of the time that the Lord gave us and the opportunity he gave us to get right. And we actually tried to get right to the best of our ability. Try to cast off that old man we used to be and try to become, become that spirit that Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, is expecting and he's pleased with, right? Which is someone following after his words and trembling after his word, man. Okay, walking in that fear and obedience. That's what the Lord is requiring. But as we see on the planet Earth, there's nothing but disorder, disobedience, rebelliousness, and wickedness, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Okay, that's why we look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, because this world's full of infirmities and unrighteousness, man. But we understand when our Lord comes back, hey, that's going to be the start to righteousness, an eternity of righteousness and peace on the planet Earth. Okay, so hey, we're also in beautiful times in that sense, man. Knowing that, having that joy set before us, just as Yahweh Shai had joy set before him. Okay, knowing that he was going to be on the right hand of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and that he was going to, through his sacrifice, reconcile Israel back to the Heavenly Father, starting with the house of David, the elect, the chosen, the predestinated ones, man, from the foundation of the earth. Okay, so hey, man, just be ready, for anything. Why be ready for anything at any time, because we're in very serious times, man. Don't be bullshitting and playing the games, man. Really take this truth serious and really utilize the time that you have, in the free time and in the leisure time that you have, to get built up in your faith, because that's the only way we're gonna make it, is through our faith in the Lord. So with that, I hope and pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostle, the great millstone, our teachers. Shalom to you, brothers, pushing and teaching this truth across the four winds of this earth. And as always, peace, blessings, and many salutations be to you. Sincere Akiyamu Akwa, you brothers, along with you few sisters who are given all diligence in these last days. And hey, man, just continue to watch, and most importantly, continue to pray to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. So till next time, Lord's will, say shalom, stay strong, and keep the faith no matter what. Shalom.